Pickaxe.
Hello and welcome to YOMP! Yes, this is YOMP, Ye Old Movie Podcast. It's an acronym. Figure it out. Come on, use your brain. We are a movie discussion podcast, probably the only one that exists on the internet. I haven't checked that, and I suggest you don't either. I am Simon Honeydew Man, the Diggy Lane. Hole. And I am joined...
Simon Lane Hole.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I am joined by the gusty G-Star Games.
Hold on, gotta search that one up.
That was gusty.
Characterized by or blowing in gusts,
Yeah.
full of meaningless,
search
pretentious talk.
Oh,
You fucking
Oh.
asshole!
I meant windy. Like you fart a lot.
Oh, sure.
I didn't mean like that.
Sure, yeah. Both are very lovely things to characterize a person by. Hello, Simon Hole Lane. And everyone listening to this podcast, welcome! We are here today, gathered to listen to another episode of YOMP, and joined by me is the non-gusty, but ever fragrant,
But still fragrant.
but still fragrant, Sophie, aka Bouphe.
Hello. If Simon's the whole Lane, can I be Sophie the half Rogerson?
Nice.
The half.
Yeah, you're the whole. I'm the half.
Oh.
G's actually, I'm probably like a quarter. G's a half.
Was just like 2.5 men.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I hated it.
Yeah,
Charlie
I
Sheen was in it.
he was in it.
Manly man.
Beep, 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 beep. I thought it was alright sometimes. It was alright.
We're not here to discuss 2.5 Men G-Star
Yes,
Games.
we are. You've all been duped. We are now a 2.5 men discussion podcast.
We're going to watch every episode of 2.5 Men and discuss it, but the twist is we watched them in reverse order, and also we watched them in reverse.
Oh my god.
So it's like Ashton Kutcher just going away, which is great. But then Charlie Sheen comes back.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, bro.
That was
Tiger
worth
blood.
it. You saying that was worth the whole 2.5 Men discussion. That was the payoff. Now I'm not mad about it. But I'll tell you what I am mad about. I'm mad about movies. This is a segue.
But I could have made a better segue than that. Did you know that Charlie Sheen was also in movies?
Who was
But
his
he wasn't in this movie.
Who was
Was
his
he?
father? Is it Emilio
Martin.
Estevez? No,
No,
what?
that's his brother.
That's his
Oh
brother.
my fucking god.
So I've been sitting on this joke for months. I almost tweeted it out, right? But then
Okay.
I didn't bother.
Are you going to workshop it with us?
Yeah,
Okay.
I put it in a draft because that's what I do with all
Right.
my funny shit. I put down, they changed the name to Mr. Sheen on the polish because Estevez wouldn't fit on the can.
That is fucking great. That is great. I don't know why. I mean, maybe someone's already like tweeted a joke like that. because
Possibly.
It's so good it almost seems like obvious.
Yeah.
But that's how a lot of the best jokes are.
And I think I'm funny. Don't take that away from me, everybody.
What did Simon say before we started the stream? The stream. Oh my god, I'm on another
We're not
planet.
this isn't live, G. This
We're live. Joke's on you.
pre-recorded.
We're live
we're
in front of a
actually
This is
studio
recorded like a
audience.
month in advance.
Give it up. Let's have a round of applause from our studio audience.
Oh, yeah!
There's a whole 3 people in here with us.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I cannot. I don't
What
know.
did I say before?
Women aren't funny.
Oh, yeah. But I said that because I said the joke and it didn't work. Like, she didn't respond to it. And I was like, yeah, women, so unfunny. Despite the fact that I was responsible for the joke not landing. Thanks for sharing that with people, my misogyny.
That's fine.
That's what this podcast is all about. It's about uncovering misogyny within our friends.
Yeah. We're just one of those women that hates women.
We're going to be discussing a film that has only one woman in it, and she's the love interest of our protagonist.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice.
Same.
The less, the better.
It's often the case for action movies. It's like
no,
very often the case.
Unless she's like the love interest. I guess.
Yeah. I wrote down her name as love interest a few times in my notes.
They don't mention it for ages.
Janice Perkins is her name.
So,
character.
We are talking about Beverly Hills Cop 3, which was a Sophie choice.
Sophie? Why on earth did you pick this film?
I have no fucking clue. Well, it's my favourite. It's my favourite Beverly Hills Cop film.
Wow,
right.
that's
better
quite
than the first
claim.
one. But
it's better than the first one. Did you? I'm sorry. Fucking excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In my opinion, it is. In the first one, though, the lady in that, she actually does stuff. She's not a love interest. She's getting involved in it.
Right.
I forget what happened in the second one. That's not relevant. Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't
tell you.
It's just like nobody knows what happened in the second one.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure
the second one doesn't have Serge in it,
which is like the saddest thing because Serge is one of the best characters.
He's so funny. I'm pretty sure I've seen the first two, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about them.
It's so great. It's so fucking good that we're just watching the third in a series with no memory of the fucking previous two films.
You don't have to know
apart
about
from Serge.
You don't have to know about the fucking. Oh, I do remember it. Bogomil.
Bouphe did say this. She said that it's not
not
a
standalone
necessary
thing.
It does stand on its own pretty well. Even if you're just vaguely familiar with the concept of Beverly Hills Cop, where there's a cop from Detroit who does stuff in Beverly Hills.
Dean Stockwell's in it in the second one.
Look, we can't discuss two other films and this one. Because you've got to go to the dentist, Sophie.
Yeah, but I love Dean Stockwell. He's amazing.
Because he was in Quantum Leap. That's why.
He was also in Blue Velvet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was also in the Dunwich Holler. Dunwich Holler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he was also in an episode of Columbo, which is really good.
Dark film.
Because he gets killed with
literally dark
block of ice.
Visually.
Stop interrupting Sophie. Oh my god.
I'm just talking, it's fine. Anyway, Beverly Hills Cop 3 is a film, I don't know, this one is the one that sticks in my memory the most out of all of them, I think. Like, it's one of the ones that go, haha, I like that one. That's a good one.
Do you have a reason as to why it sticks out the most?
I think it's because I like theme parks.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I don't like going on rides. I just like going to theme parks and sitting around.
Right.
Yeah.
Watching other people go on the rides.
Watching kids go on rides.
I like watching kids enjoy themselves.
I just like to go to a theme park by myself and just watch the kids have fun and laugh.
Oh, where are your kids? I don't have any kids.
I watch them slowly eating my frozen banana.
Where are your kids? They're over there. They're those ones. Come on, kids. Let's go.
Oh my god.
So this is basically the film is about Axel Foley, who is not related to Axl Rose or any...
Why would they be related when their first names are the same?
One guy's black and the other one's white.
It could be adopted.
All right.
Could be adopted.
And he is Axel Foley's like he's pretty good. He's pretty good at his job. He's a policeman. He's the top dog of an operation.
He doesn't play by the rules, though. He's a bit of a maverick. He swears a lot. He's got street smarts, but he doesn't really follow the book.
Yeah. And
sometimes that book then gets thrown at him.
Yes. And he gets told off a lot because of it. But basically, there is something... His boss gets shot in a routine, in inverted commas, routine investigation of an illegal chop shop, and he follows the guy that shot him and uncovers some dark and evil doings that are going on in a theme park.
Very nice little synopsis, yeah. Sums it up.
Doesn't spoil it either.
Okay, Sophie, your final thoughts and rating of Beverly Hills Cop 3. Okay, well, first of all, the film has no opening titles.
Yeah.
It doesn't say the name of the movie, Beverly Hills Cop, at the start. It doesn't say the names of the actors. It doesn't say who directed it.
You sure?
Nothing. Yep. It's very unusual, and I think it's because the director, John Landis, was ashamed of this film.
Why
and didn't want his
be?
name appearing at the start.
Damn,
so yeah, no opening titles. It just opens. They're in Detroit. Axel Foley has got like a team that are going to break in, raid, I guess is the word.
He's doing a raid.
A gang of car thieves. There's a chop shop that they've uncovered.
Do you know
an
what a chop
illegal
shop is?
chop shop.
They chop it up.
They chop up the cars and then they sell the
bits.
pieces of the cars.
He's like, we can totally handle this, and we don't need a SWAT team. Like,
yeah,
we don't need a SWAT team on this. It's just gonna be we don't want bullets in all of our
Evidence.
We don't want bullet holes in our evidence, man.
Yeah.
And immediately, like everyone watching is like, "Ooh, yeah."
And we cut to the inside the chop shop. And I wrote down gay mechanics ? Because they are dancing and putting on a rendition of something on the radio. They're having a lovely time in there.
It's Diana Ross and the Supremes, and they're all like singing along and doing like the dance moves.
One did a cartwheel as well. It was very impressive.
Which is like, they're having a lovely time. They're getting job satisfaction.
What a great bunch of thieves.
They've got great...
I put men just want to have fun.
They do.
And they do.
I put criminals with criminal haircuts fuck around.
There was a riff-raff haircut, wasn't there?
Hey, yeah. It was the 90s, you know?
I think it's a skullet. Is that sort of...
A skullet? Isn't that like a little frying pan?
No, that's a skillet.
Oh.
Darling.
Yeah, I knew that. Oh, let's not forget Axel Foley asks his team if anyone needs to take a nervous piss.
Oh, yeah. Honestly,
which I think was supposed to be funny.
It was supposed to be funny, but also that he's a very caring man about his team, you know?
Yeah.
He cares. So they're just normal blokes having fun. And a man, I wrote down, man from Whose Line Is It Anyway, is happy they hijacked something. So this guy, he's not that man. I've just got really bad face blindness, and I was like, oh, it looks like that man from Whose Line Is It Anyway.
It's anyone's guess who you mean by that.
Right. It's not Greg Proops, it's the tall man.
Right. It's the tall one.
Oh, the tall man. Yeah, I know.
Ryan Stiles. All right. Ryan Stiles does almost look like the man.
No one in this film... Wait a minute. Are you talking about the main bad guy?
The main bad guy.
Oh my God, he does kind of look like him.
Way! I
take it back. I take it back. You're not wrong, actually.
Actually, pretty good.
Jeez, Googling. Like, who the fuck are these people?
No, I know. I that was Sophie.
That was me actually Googling. I was just making sure.
I know the big, tall, lanky man from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
That guy looks like a lighter hair version of, oh my God, what's the, Kramer? From Seinfeld?
Kramer?
He looks like Kramer.
He does in a way.
Yeah, they look like they could be
I know
related.
what you
Right.
mean. This podcast is now figuring out who looks like who, and we're doing a big
Yeah.
line of people in connection to those
fucking
people.
hell.
And who looks like Kramer?
I don't know. He's quite
Very
unique.
distinctive
Yeah.
features.
Steve Urkel.
Sure. What? What? Couldn't look anything less like him.
That's
the joke.
What? Women can't make jokes, G.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll
Come
stay
on,
in
know
my
your
lane.
place. Women, know your place.
This message has been approved by men.
The chop shop guys are busy fucking around, but then a car arrives and there's a bunch of suits, very smartly dressed men, and they've arrived to check on a van that the thieves stole, which still has a bunch of things inside in boxes. And seeing that the stuff is there, the goons of the main guy just have machine guns inside suitcases, wrapped in towels, and then just proceed to murder all of these mechanic thieves. They also destroy the radio.
It
Yeah.
seems a
It was
bit
playing Diana
overkill.
Ross.
You know, I guess they don't want a paper trail.
Well, as soon as it was quite ironic because he's like, I don't like when people are necessarily injured, and I'm like, yeah, sure, buddy. And then they were like, oh, where's our money? Are we going to get paid? And then they were like, as soon as they said that, I'm like, yeah, they're going to get fucking peppered
Yeah.
with bullets. Absolutely. And they did.
Axel Foley arrives on the scene, knocking on the door, and he tries to wisecrack his way inside.
Of course, because it's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, all he does to get an edge over people is pretend that he's not as clever as he is. Like he just walks in with bravado,
Acts like an idiot.
acts like a twat, acts like an idiot, and then will pull a gun on somebody. that's his MO. That's how he does it.
I was like, why would you open up with? And then I was like, oh, it's intentional because he's just like, is this the illegal chop shop? And I'm like, yeah, very subtle. And I was like, oh wait, no, that's intentional. But he has no sense of subtlety. He just goes in, makes a scene, and then shit hits the fan pretty quickly.
In the first one, he's walking around like a depot, and he's just walking around saying, "Get your manager," and he pretends to be somebody else, and then that's how he gets places. It's like if you take a ladder with you somewhere and have a high vis jacket, you can get anywhere.
Yeah,
Good advice for would-be thieves.
Yeah.
From Sophie.
Yeah, I can see that.
So the guy that answers the door to this chop shop to Axel Foley just pulls a fucking gun out on him, but then Axel Foley just does a quick kung fu move or something, and just avoids getting shot. But then just a whole gunfight breaks out. The rest of the cops are all outside. There's one of the guys yells out, "They've got fucking machine guns!" And him and Axel Foley dive over a car that's then peppered with bullets.
I said, luckily that that car is very bulletproof.
Yeah.
I just like how before all of this shit went down, his boss, Eddie Murphy's boss, commanding officer, Ted, I don't remember his name. He's like, yeah, I'm just an observer. Because he's like, why did you call off the SWAT team? And then he says, I'm an observer.
I'm here just to get killed.
Well, pretty much.
May as well have just said that. May as well have just fucking said that.
Well, he's like, I'm an observer, so I'll be watching. I'm like, that's typically what an observer would do. Yeah, they
For
just
people
watch.
who don't know what an observer is.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, now they know.
Now they know.
But at no point during the shootout does Axel Foley radio for backup, or call the SWAT team in or anything.
Yeah,
that would have been really useful.
Would have been good if
super
they were on standby. Really,
Yeah,
they should have had the SWAT team. But they did make a joke about that. They said should have called SWAT.
Yeah, it's not really a joke. That's just a regret.
Regret.
But yeah, his boss Todd drives up to the scene, gets out of his car, and just immediately blows away one of the guys.
This is why he's chief.
Yeah, very impressive. But as he's like walking around alone inside the chop shop, which was fucking stupid of him to do, the boss of the goons is sort of sat inside a car and just fucking shoots him. He's pretending to be like dead or something. But then he gets out the car and shoots him a second time as Axel Foley is watching and goes, "No!"
I don't think he was pretending to be dead. I think because there was a point where the car crashed because there was a car that drove into that van.
Right.
So he sort of like, he got knocked out briefly, which is movie logic that he comes to completely fine. He's not incredibly concussed.
Yeah, and he's completely aware of his surroundings.
He's coherent.
Has perfect
He's not
situational
confused.
awareness.
Yeah. So, obviously they managed to... The chief is dead. He's shot, and Axel Foley is holding him and kissing him, going, "Oh, don't die on me, Chief." And Chief's like, "Axel, you had a coffee break? Go get them sons of bitches." And then he fucking dies.
Yeah.
I honestly thought like his acting was pretty bad, the boss dude. They said he was in the earlier movies, this guy, Inspector Todd. Not good, but it's fine because he's out of the movie now. Yeah. So. And then the franchise.
He won't be in Beverly Hills
God.
Cop 4. Do you think they'll ever make a fourth one? I think they will at some point.
100%.
Did they not make a fourth one?
I don't
They're
think
gonna make
so.
I don't know.
They probably will.
So then the bad guy gets away.
Oh my God. It's going to be on Netflix. Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley.
Wait, are you serious?
It's coming to Netflix. I am serious, yeah. I didn't know this was a thing.
Is Eddie Murphy going to be in it?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. He has to be.
Nice.
Judge Reinhold is back.
Oh, no!
John Ashton is back. Taggart. Taggart is back.
Damn.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm sorry, what? Kevin Bacon? What?
Oh,
They're just making this up. They're making this up now.
Get out of here.
Gil Hill.
Oh, and Paul Reiser is back in it because he was in the second film. So yeah, there we go. I had no idea that was happening. That's crazy.
I didn't either.
Well, there you go, kids. Now
I will
you know.
never watch that film.
Well, you never say never. Could be funny.
Bad guys getting away, guys. What are we going to do?
No.
Oh my God, but Serge is back in. He's in the film, so I'm going to have to watch it.
Oh, shit.
But it says that
God.
Taylor Page is playing someone called Axel as well.
Young Axel.
Young
lady.
Axel.
Maybe
A lady.
son, daughter. His daughter is called Axel.
Right. Of course.
This is my daughter, Axel Jr. That's my Eddie Murphy voice.
I love it. I love it.
Sounded like Donkey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I pictured, like, throughout this movie. I just kept hearing Donkey.
Just imagine that it's Donkey doing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I won't do the Axel Foley voice again, or the Eddie Murphy voice. That's it. That's all you get.
It's going to happen again. But Eddie Murphy takes the shiniest, nicest, topless car for shooting it. The getaway van.
It's not just a car, Sophie. It's a 1991 Dodge Stealth.
Oh, yeah, get your shit straight, woman.
So it's not a car. It's something else, apparently.
It's got the pop-up headlights on it and everything. Oh.
But it's not, it's not in the best shape because they've been taking parts off of it the whole time. So as they're doing this shootout where apparently nobody can hit Axel through the topless car, where everything is falling off it. There's a seat that falls out. There's the side panels fall off.
The goon boss tells one of his guys, "Wax that clown."
Wax that clown.
Wax that clown. And they fuck that car up.
They do. And the boss kicks the guy out when he gets shot. He's like, "Help me, boss." And he's like, okay, and he opens the door for him and kicks him out, and then
That's
Axel
lovely.
runs him over, and I laughed.
Oh,
I laughed because his legs went everywhere. It was absolutely fucking great. And by the end of this, Axel is cut off by another car, who he then crashes, and the guys get out and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're the feds, right? We've been trailing this guy for a really long time, and you just let him go where he's gonna go. We're gonna see what he does, and then we're gonna nab him. We're gonna nab him." And
this Agent Fulbright is in charge. He's Stephen McHattie, who's been in over 200 like films and TV things. He's been in fucking everything. He's been in Star Trek's, X-Files, loads of stuff.
he's a very pointy man.
A very distinctive looking
Yeah,
gentleman,
he
isn't
looks
he? He
kind
looks
of-
like he was born to play an FBI
He
agent.
looks like G-Man from
Yes,
Half-Life.
100%. Yeah.
Like that's who he is. So yeah, then we go to Inspector Todd's funeral.
And a guy is really milking singing Amazing Grace. like,
But it's making
Oh my
everybody
God.
cry because they just want to go home. They're looking at their watches.
When Axel Foley cries, it reminded me of the moment near the start of Tropic Thunder where Ben Stiller's character is trying to cry.
Yes.
Because he kind of almost cries a single tear, but not quite.
He's going...
Like, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that there's guys with flagpoles, right? And flags, and that these flags are so fucking big and heavy that they have to attach them to a harness that looks almost like a strap-on.
Nice.
Oh.
Because they're so... And imagine standing there for fucking hours holding a flag. That's your fucking job in the army or in the police force, is to be a flag man. And you've got to put
Flag bearer.
a flag bearer. Anyway, it's really sad. But then they start talking about business. They start talking about getting the killer. And it's like, couldn't you just fucking like wait until we're back at work for this?
No, his dying words was to go after that son of a bitch.
Oh,
so
yeah.
His widow was like,
best scene. Love it.
Yeah. Axel was like, his last words were about you. And she was like, that don't sound like my husband. And he's like, well, actually, he told me to get that son of a bitch. She's like, that sounds like my husband.
Yeah. I like the little smirk because I was like, oh, that's nice. She could see right through that.
But they're talking about going to get those son of bitches. And it all points to this one place, Wonderworld. There's a lot of information flying past us. But it's all...
Do you remember the machine guns were wrapped in a towel? That towel was from a hotel in Wonderworld.
Ooh.
And there was a car that was rented using a stolen ID from a wallet that was pickpocketed in Wonderworld. Oh, everything's pointing towards Wonderworld in sunny California.
And so off they go to California.
By they, just Axel Foley.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is what...
Yeah.
Sorry, this is what doesn't make sense to me, because they go on about jurisdiction, and there's obviously an extended joke that runs throughout the film about lines and jurisdiction. And I don't remember the first two films very well at all, but when something is out of a cop's jurisdiction, does it not then fall to...
There wouldn't be a Beverly Hills Cop franchise.
Because the whole thing is basically the first one, because they're in Detroit. The first one is basically he goes to Beverly Hills because who fucking dies in that one? In the first one.
Oh, who fucking cares?
Someone dies and he goes, oh yeah, it's his mate. Oh yeah, he goes out drinking with his mate.
his best friend.
His best friend dies. And
Who fucking cares?
he stole some stuff and then he gets shot by the guy from
RoboCop.
Yeah.
No.
You're just making shit
Yeah.
up now.
The guy from Walter White, Breaking Bad. That guy again, G-Star.
Oh,
That it was in
older
Buckaroo
gentleman.
Banzai.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice.
He kills him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Fuck.
yeah, so then he goes to Beverly Hills to try and figure out who fucking killed. It's always him going back to California because for some reason people keep killing people in Detroit and then fucking off back to California.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Because
Yeah.
they think the cops won't follow them. They're safe. They're in a different state.
but they don't know Axel Foley because
No, they
he
don't.
don't
Yeah,
want
he
to
don't
go.
play by the rules. He's a maverick.
They do call him a maverick. No, do they call him a maverick?
Yes, Fulbright does
Yeah.
later on.
Okay.
So-
I thought so.
But he goes there and he rocks up at the fucking
Oh God.
office of
See.
Rosewood. He's knocking on the door.
No. Before that, there's
Oh.
the check-in, drive-in automated thing outside police headquarters.
Oh.
That's really unfunny.
It
It's
was so
terrible.
unfunny I didn't even remember it.
Oh,
It's
I
the,
remember it.
Press #1 for English. It does that whole joke.
It's not
Yeah.
fucking
And-
funny.
Axel Foley just presses random buttons and then he has to try and speak French, and it's just incredibly cringe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then he goes to
So
see
he
Rosewood.
just gets out of the car and just walks in.
Yeah.
And he finds Billy Rosewood in his new office. And what does Billy do now? What's his title?
He's
Oh my God.
Chief of the JD Jojo C.
He's the Deputy Director of Operations for Joint Systems Interdepartmental Operational Command. And it's something to do with green lines. There's a map and he explains it.
I think that it's basically saying that, I
He's
make
a
sure that
desk-
everybody's being distributed in the right places.
Yeah.
There's different
Um,
police departments. There's like the Coast Guard.
And he says, whoever controls
Whatever.
the green lines controls the universe. Well, he doesn't say that, but that's what I wrote down.
I think he's at Southern Los Angeles or something. He
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
Oh my
as
God.
a direct quote, exactly as that. It's from June, because it's whoever controls the spice controls Southern California.
Yeah. I mean, I got the June reference immediately,
Of course.
but I'm glad that you said that so that people would know that that was a June reference.
It's not like
It
you,
doesn't-
Sophie, to explain your jokes. You just
know.
usually... Is Simon rubbing off on you?
I hope not.
Because he has
Wow.
to. He
Excuse me.
he explains
Not without
his jokes.
consent, anyway.
Oh, God.
Also, that office
Ugh.
is so...
I'm just gonna break into your house and you're gonna have to like smash a painting over my head.
Oh my
I do
God.
have- I
Like
do
a
have-
fucking Neil Breen
I-
movie.
Do you know, I actually have an old painting, right?
Bitch.
I'll be in the background going, bitch.
Bitch. I have an old painting that I recently threw away because it was too fragile. It was one that you could, it was like a
Oh, that would have been
legitimately...
perfect.
It's a painting of a girl that's holding a horse by
Yeah.
the head,
Sure.
tenderly, not not like in a headlock.
I think that's a Leonardo da Vinci. I think he just destroyed a priceless.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Anyway,
Oh my God.
I wrote
Yeah,
down
sorry.
Judge has huge ears. Judge Reinhold has huge ears. He's got
Yeah.
massive
Yeah.
ears.
He looks like a dork, and that's why he's perfectly cast in this role. Really.
Buh. But he was in that other film that was like it was a sex comedy.
Oh no,
You know.
that gives me the ick, as the kids say these days.
I hate that goddamn
Fast
phrase.
Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh God, really? He was in that? Holy
Yeah.
shit! Oh my God.
I quite like that film.
Taggart is not in this movie because production dawdled along so long that he got another job, another role.
Another
That's
joke.
So he
hilarious.
was busy and couldn't do this. So we got a new character called Flint that's in this that is basically Taggart.
They said that Taggart has retired.
Yeah, he's what was it? He's fishing or something. They said, or hunting bears. I can't remember.
Whatever it is that men do when they retire, he's doing.
Yeah. He's in a shed somewhere looking at pornography.
I thought the office that they were in was so drab for an LA office. It was like so grey and so like lifeless. Typically, when you look at like any sort of building in LA, it's very, because they're always like converted something, right? It's always like especially for like a cop station, it's a converted something, and that was just insanely drab for any cop station I've seen set in an LA setting.
Should there have been some flair?
Yeah,
some, like,
there was nothing. There was no
murals.
There was nothing. Also, I don't know if we talked about this because I don't know his name, but the guy, the bald guy, I don't know.
Flint?
Is it Flint? Yeah, so he's the dude from The Princess Diaries. He's the bodyguard of the Queen of Genovia. That's where I recognize him from. That's
Genovia.
Genovia, yeah.
That's a proper G film.
God.
That's a proper G.
Oh, come on. Princess Diaries is classic, guys. Come
You're
on.
going to have to put it on your list sometime.
Have either of you
in a
ever
month.
seen it?
I have seen it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen The Princess Diaries.
Oh my god! I have to put it on my list now. Okay. Continue.
Okay. So Foley explains that he's there because there's a link to his boss being murdered and Wonderworld. And Flint says that he will helpfully arrange a meeting so that Foley can meet the head of security for Wonderworld, Ellis DeWald. He runs the biggest private security force in America.
Jesus. Didn't catch that.
Which I'm not sure that entirely makes sense.
No.
But just a theme park? Just one theme park? So that alone is suspicious. But then we cut to Wonderworld, and Foley is there, and he's bothering a woman at a ticket booth who is very nice and smiley.
You have to
He
be.
says that he wants to see head of security. She says, "Do you have an appointment?" He says, "Well, I should have." She checks her list, and his name's not on it. So he's going to have to buy a ticket if he wants to get into the park. Ticket price is $35, which is $73 today, or about £60.
I'm glad you did the conversion, because, yeah,
That is still cheaper than Disney ticket prices today.
Sheesh.
I mean, of course it is. You know?
Disney.
Yeah. There's a couple of security goons that kind of bother him a bit, whilst grinning constantly and being all nice and smiley
So
and professional.
the prices for the pleasure beach at this time, it's £38 for an adult.
Fuck me. What's at
What?
the pleasure beach?
The pleasure beach.
Donkeys.
No, the pleasure beach is a theme park in Blackpool, right?
Oh,
Donkey.
the pleasure beach. It sounds like a cocktail, doesn't it?
I want one pleasure beach.
I'll have a rum and rumble.
Peak times though, it's £40 during peak season.
Okay.
That's so funny, dude. Are there
There is a lot
rides?
of parallels to the pleasure beach. All right.
I was thinking of there's a place in Queensland called Warner Brothers Movie World, and that's what Wonder World reminded me
Yeah.
of.
Well, I mean, fuck you guys. Just 4 miles away from my hometown, there's Bourton on the Water, where there's the model village, there's Birdland,
Wow.
there's a toy museum.
Queensland was nowhere near Sydney, all right? I fucking lived in Sydney. Queensland was like a fucking ridiculous 15-hour drive, okay?
Gee, I don't think you understand. The model village of Bourton on the Water has a model village inside of it.
No
Honestly, it's
way.
quite
And
impressive.
inside of that model village is another model village.
Holy
Model
shit.
Village is all the way down.
It is.
Is that the model village? Right? Are we just is that a model village for something bigger?
What, Wonderworld?
Or are they the top? No, Bourton on the Water.
Oh my god. Are you saying that there's a bigger model village that has the actual Bourton on the Water model village inside of it as
Yeah.
a model village? Oh my god, I don't know. I'm terrified.
What the
I'm
fuck?
just going to see a giant hand reaching down from the sky.
We're living in the Matrix. This is all a simulation.
Did you notice
Oh
that
my God.
as Axel enters the park, the Happy Forest is closed for renovations?
No,
Oh,
that's
to go
there. The Happy Forest.
Well, maybe we'll see it later in the film. Who
Okay.
knows? He also sees the display honouring Uncle Dave, who is kind of like the Walt Disney of Wonderworld.
Everyone loves
Um,
Walt Disney.
Yeah. But this universe is Uncle Dave.
Mhm.
Foley notices there's a security guy talking to a woman with no bra on, and he hears something on his earpiece and then walks to a cartoon tree and enters through a door in the park.
That is so clever.
Axel-
I like that tree. But
I like that.
I'd be tempted to just
they're
walk
like-
in there, because I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Looks like a
It
public
does have a
toilet.
sign
Is
saying
this
like
the toilet?
staff only. There is a sign on next to it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
It's
my.
not locked though. Anyone can get in.
Yeah.
Axel does.
Well, Axel
I had
Axel
a-
gets anywhere. He's not supposed to be all the time.
That's true.
I have one of my core memories from around a tree like that though. Like we went somewhere, me and
Oh
some
my
family
God.
friends and Rosie, and there was
You
those
took
big
mushrooms.
took some mushrooms. There was these big. there
Fairy
was-
spoke to you and invited you into their house.
it was called. I think it was called Sandown Park, and there was. I fucking loved it, but there was all these things like the trees and stuff, and one of them had a face, and our family friend was absolutely fucking terrified of trees with faces. He was scared of everything in that fucking park. There was a zoo, like a pet shop, where everything was singing, like animatronics was singing. I still remember the song. And then Princess Diana
Can you
died.
sing us the song? Oh,
Wait, I didn't catch what was that last part?
Yeah, Princess Diana died. I remember where I was when Princess Diana died. I was having a lovely time at Sandown Park, and they were singing.
that is not where I thought the story was going to go. What the fuck?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Sandown.
Wait, when did she pass away? When?
1997.
Damn.
Rest in peace, Angel.
Lady Di.
She was the Princess of Hearts.
It was so good. I can't remember where it was, but anyway, my
It
mom.
was so good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Sundown Park,
Okay.
which is in Nottinghamshire. I think it is, and it had a little animatronic
Oh,
zoo.
God,
I fucking loved
animatronic.
it. It was so good, and there was a bench that you sat on, and then one of the boards on one of the planks on the bench made like it was like triggered a thing, and then it spoke to you, and I can't remember what it said. I'll ask me mum. Ask me.
Oh, get off me, you fat bastard.
It was so good. We went back to that zoo place so often just because we loved the cat singing. There's a little cat that sang.
Aw, that's cute.
I fucking loved
Oh.
that place. It's shit now.
It's all in ruins.
It's in ruins.
It's like
Wonder
the
if-
crinkly bottom place. Overgrown. Nature's reclaimed it.
Good.
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 Where were we? Axel Foley goes through the door and he goes down some steps into the underground tunnels beneath Wonderworld. And he just randomly walks into the control room for Alien Attack. And there's a beautiful young African-American actress who is
Actress.
there to play the role of Eddie Murphy's love interest in this movie. She's Janice.
Jenny.
We'll find out. We also see a Cylon shooting
Yes.
a laser gun.
I'm glad you noticed that.
The old one, the old school one, that's a robot with the swooshy red eyes. And the... and of course there's the Universal Studios Subway Earthquake ride.
Yes. That's what Alien Attack is. It's just an earthquake with a Cylon.
Well, the Cylon shoots something and that causes everything to collapse and explode and stuff.
Are you talking
I
about
guess.
RoboCop Chrome Darth Vader? The
Yes, that's a Cylon.
That's the Cylon from Battlestar Galactica, the OG.
Okay. I would never have known that.
Security is following Foley's movements on CCTV, and we hear their boss, Ellis, head of security, who says, send Cooper, get him. But we don't see Ellis's face, which is a bit weird. We don't see what he looks like. Huh. Strange about that, isn't it? Foley's just walking down a corridor, and a security guard just opens fire on him with a silenced pistol, I think. But Axel Foley, even though his hands are in his pockets, manages to draw out his weapon and shoot back at the guy in like a split second. And it's very impressive.
Very impressive.
He's like John fucking Wick or something. And another idiot security guard jumps down from above, but Foley just beats his ass.
Is this when they're still in the underground? In the
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yep.
But Foley exits to where the spider ride is, and this is when we get the train right outside where he exits. And the train, it's a little tiny model train, and it's singing a song. On the happy train, such a happy train, with a song like girl all day long. Sings like that. And I thought that was very charming. It's probably one of the highlights of the movie for me. A little singing train.
I love that when the security steps on the train, it like kind of reacts like it's sentient. It's very bizarre.
Ah! Yeah.
I was like, oh,
maybe it's alive.
Maybe.
Oh my god. What a horrifying thought that is.
Yeah.
And Foley pushes in front of someone to get on the ride, the spider ride. Who does he barge in front of?
Bro, okay, I thought so. Is that George Lucas?
Yes.
Okay.
It's George fucking
I
Lucas.
thought I was losing my marbles. I thought I'm obviously tired. That cannot be George Lucas.
This is one of the reasons why it cements it as the best Beverly Hills Cop movie, because you get fucking George Lucas as just some guy.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of cameos, but this is like the big one. You can't miss him.
Just why? Just why? It's so random.
He's mates with John Landis.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this scene is weird, right? So Foley gets on the ride. The security guards fuck around with the controls to try and stop it so they can get to Foley. But it just goes out of control. The ride starts like jerking around. All the pods are swinging around.
I hated that. Like the fact that they just like grabbed the controls and like just couldn't wait for him to come back down. You know what I mean? And it just the whole thing malfunctions. And just
if they just waited, it just would have done a loop, and that's it.
Yeah,
that would have been it.
That would be crazy.
And they could have grabbed him.
Yeah.
Two kids are almost fucking dying. They're like falling out. The doors opened up. They're like they're like hanging onto a pole. But Foley acts, well, I guess I should say Eddie Murphy's stunt double acts the hero and jumps from like pod to pod. And then we get shots of Eddie Murphy with a green screen with nothing but sky behind him.
Oh my god.
There is some
really
green screen
bad.
with like the floor, you know, when he's like green screened is helping people. He's like climbing things. It's fucking terrible. I wrote the system, that ride is so fragile. One jostle and it's just fucked up. And we see that we go back to Rosewood's office, and Wonderworld has its own little red LED on his map.
So when a ride malfunctions in a theme park, it notifies a police officer in an office. With a light.
That since it broke,
What?
I think since it broke, somebody phoned the police and the emergency services. I think that somebody went, "Oh, that's not a good idea."
Janice is watching this on the CCTV, so maybe she's the one that called it.
She's responsible as Janice. She knows what she's fucking doing.
Well, they put her down there because they were like, I don't even remember why. Some form of punishment. She's like, as long as I have a computer, then I can see every something mainframe. I'm like, okay, I don't remember why you're being punished to begin with.
Nerd.
Yeah. But yeah, this whole scene made me very nervous because he's just like jumping around to each pod, trying to get to those
It
kids.
goes on so long as well.
It does, yeah, it does.
He manages to get like a bit of rope, gets to the pod with the kids in, ties the rope, and they grab hold of him, and he shimmies down, and he jumps clear of the rope at the bottom just as the pod crashes to the ground. So yeah, he's then sat in an office with two very unhappy-looking security guards stood behind him.
And John Saxon.
And John Saxon walks into the office, and I think this is when I should start bringing this up. Did you notice just how many fucking shots there are of someone opening a door and walking into a room?
No,
in this fucking film?
no.
It drove me up the fucking wall.
This is John
How many
Landis.
fucking
all over.
shots of this? Oh my god. I was losing my fucking mind.
Did you count
I
them?
was just going crazy. I was like yelling at the screen as I saw this.
Oh my god.
Because it happens about 30 times in the film. You get that shot of someone opening a door and walking in.
Oh no.
And then someone else opens the door and walks in after them. Like, oh my god. But yeah, John Saxon is in this movie from films.
He's done a lot of film.
I have no idea what his character is called whatsoever. I'm not even sure anyone ever says his name. But
I don't
he's
even
John
really know
Saxon.
what his fucking role is.
I don't know what his job description
No.
is or what he does.
I don't know whether he's married. I don't know what his favourite colour is.
No one knows anything about
I don't know
him
what
in
he
this
even had
film.
for fucking
He's
breakfast.
just there.
This is just... Anyway, they're saying... Axel's like, I am investigating something that's going on here. And you never... Axel, if you learned nothing from your previous two films, never tell the higher-ups what you're fucking doing, because they're just going to move operations, you dipshit. You can't...
Yeah, he could certainly learn. I mean, he really does fuck that up in this film.
He fucked it up. And they say, oh, look, let's look at the CCTV. And the CCTV it fuzzes out and it just shows Axel firing his gun everywhere.
So it doesn't show him being attacked. It just shows him firing the gun.
Yeah. Which is fine. And then Ellis...
A door opens and someone walks in.
Yeah, and who should that be? It's Ellis DeWalt. And he's like, oh, fuck, that's the guy that killed my mate. And he's like, no, I was in Laguna Beach. And he's like, sorry, I must have mistaken you for someone else. And then he starts trying to fight him.
Ellis is the fucking guy that killed Axel Foley's boss. It's him. It's 100%. Or it's Ryan, what's his name, from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah, it could
I'm
have
not
been
sure.
either. I don't know. But yeah, that's bad news. So the police come and they pick up Axel and they're like, fucking hell, the amount of times that we're going to have to pick this guy up in every film. And they go to a bar, like a tiki bar. And
So
Well,
random.
no. I think you're skipping.
Of course I'm skipping.
Okay, so Ellis. So first of all, in this scene, a door opens. John Saxon walks in. Then later, a door opens. Ellis walks in. Then a door opens and Flint walks in. And then immediately afterwards, the door opens and Rosewood walks in. So we get the shot of a door opening and someone walking in 4 times in this one scene. Sorry, continue, Sophie.
that's fair enough. I think that was
It
really
doesn't bother me.
that was really important.
It
to
doesn't
this
bother me.
podcast.
That I am going to bring it up every time it happens in the film.
That was such an important point to
When a
make
door
about the
opens
actual
and someone
plot
fucking walks
of
in.
this film that we need to talk about. So they go to a tiki bar, and Billy's usual, the lady that's in Hawaiian dress with a bikini on and everything, she's like, oh, here's your usual Billy, and it's a fucking bright blue cocktail, fancy shit. Like out of Wayne's World when they go
Romulan ale.
to do they get the business deal, and they go to a tiki bar, and Garth orders this massive fucking cocktail that he's struggling to drink in front of the big bosses. I love
All
that
the
film.
umbrellas in.
Yeah. Then we get the iconic song, but it's like funked up a bit.
Basically, nobody believes Foley. Ellis is like an upstanding member of society. He's even going to be given a special award at a very special boy ceremony this very evening.
Oh my God.
Boy
That is...
ceremony.
So Foley is like, I'm going to this ceremony, and Rosewood's like, if you're going, I'm going too. I'm like, oh, that's great.
He just wanted an
Dead
excuse
weight.
to wear a fancy suit. And of course, Axel never wears a fancy suit when he...
No. He
No.
has his leather jacket and jeans, and that's all he needs,
He
because he's
ne-
from Detroit.
Yeah, he doesn't even own that shit. So...
Foley goes back to his motel, and the door is open and unlocked. Someone's waiting for him. He pulls his gun out, and it's Uncle Dave! It's good old Uncle Dave!
I was like, why did
Uncle
Uncle Dave
Dave
break into his room? What the
Well, Janice was like, it's fine because it's Uncle Dave. We can do what we want.
Everyone loves Uncle Dave.
Janice brought him in.
Janice is there, and she brought Uncle Dave because Uncle Dave has concerns about the park. 2 weeks ago, his friend, the designer of the park, Roger Fry, disappeared, leaving behind a note on some very thick-looking paper that says, "This is important, life and death, Roger."
Yeah.
Apparently, Roger was inspecting the park the very day that he disappeared, and maybe he might have discovered something that he shouldn't have. Then we cut to the awards ceremony location. There's like a big sort of gun show exhibition in the lobby, and I saw Smith and Weston. There was a thing up for that, and more importantly, Serge.
And he
is
gets
there.
mad because Axel keeps calling him Serge.
It's not that hard.
Which sounds like a fucking detergent. I loved it when Serge said black hoosh poopies.
Black hoosh poopies. He's a fucking amazing character, Serge. Serge.
Serge. His survival boost looks like a fucking hairdressing salon setup as well.
But that's the thing. He's designing weapons and protection.
Protection,
So
prestige, and pretty.
Yeah.
And it says maintain your personal sense of style and be safe.
Yeah. He wants...
The art gallery went under, so he had to find a new line of employment, and this is what he does. He sells arms.
Of course.
Also, he's now a big fan of colonic irrigation.
Out comes a candy bar you had when you were 5.
One of the best scenes of the movie, this is, honestly. It's ridiculous.
I loved
This is the
it.
thing.
Yeah, I genuinely thought this was a great scene.
And I thought, does this scene anything to do with the plot? Well, there's two key things.
Key things.
Oh my god.
One thing is the big gun that he's selling is the Annihilator 2000, and he's apparently sold a bunch of them to Jackie Stallone, to Sylvester Stallone, to all sorts of celebrities
fuck is
that he
Jackie
named.
Stallone?
all sorts of Stallones.
Sylvester Stallone's mother is Jackie Stallone.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
So he's been selling all these guns. They're on back order. They're selling like hotcakes. And this gun has a microwave, CD player, camera, VHS player, radio, all these things built into it, as well as being this crazy gun. It's massive. It's fucking massive.
Yeah, you found one, didn't you? Selling for like...
Yes. I saw there was a prop website selling it for, what was it, estimated $3,000 to $5,000 or something? Looks really cool though.
I wonder how many. I wonder if that is the one. If they just only made one of those.
They probably made 2 or 3 at least. Because these things, they get scratches and stuff on them. A bit of them falls off. Especially during action scenes. Another thing is, he gives a couple of freebies to Axel and Rosewood. Just a couple of little key rings. You press a button on it and it shoots a very, very bright light. It's like a sort of little defense thing instead of having like
it's like a
pepper spray.
flashbang, but like
yeah,
on your keychain. I love that he's
Very, very bright light.
I love that the women or the woman who was like advertising the Annihilator is like, oh, she's my personal trailer. She can bench 200 or something like that.
And he says she doesn't know, but I sneak off to eat goat's cheese.
I can't. I honestly wanted this scene to drag on more because I could listen to this guy talk. Sadly, he doesn't get that much airtime.
So much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, man. But yeah, the movie does continue. The actual award ceremony / banquet thing. John Saxon is on stage giving a speech about how great Ellis is, and Ellis is sat there with like a bunch of kids, underprivileged kids, that are like his guests to show how much of a humanitarian he is. Ellis is being presented the award for Private Law Enforcement Man of the Year, which I think this award ceremony they bankrolled, right?
Yeah. I think that he made it up so that he could get an award.
Probably, yeah.
This is what happens.
If he's like the biggest...
There's a lot of award ceremonies.
If he's the biggest, in the biz, in America, then it's safe to say he could probably foot the bill for this kind of cringe ceremony to make himself look like a saint, right?
Yeah. Ellis takes the stage and he gives a very short speech before Foley just starts golf clapping, and he's going, "Bravo, bravo!" And this is his MO, to make a scene, to get in someone's face, to throw them off guard. So he's just doing it as he does in every Beverly Hills Cop movie.
I was texting my mom about that Sundown Park place because I found the video of the singing pet shop and stuff, and my mum said, so our friend Lucas, he shat himself because the trees had faces and a jet flew overhead when he touched a treasure chest with a dragon in, and he thought the dragon was going to get him.
Oh.
And my dad had...
How old were you?
I don't remember. Very young.
It was 1997.
Yeah.
We were 17.
We were 17. My dad apparently had a massive lump of earwax he got out, and he shouted, "Hey, Ange, come and look at this." And everyone went to look.
Oh. Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Axel is like golf clapping, saying, "Bravo, bravo." He climbs onto the stage and he says, I came all the way from Detroit to see Ellis here, and he's going to get what's coming to him. The people of Detroit are going to pay him back. He's going to get what he deserves. Like, really.
With interest.
Just
and everyone's going, yeah, that's nice.
And they put their arms around each other, but then Ellis whispers to Foley, "You mad at me for shooting your boyfriend?" And that fucking makes Foley just lose it.
Because he's not gay. He's like, "No way, I'm not gay. Fuck you." Because he's really fragile about his masculinity.
Masculinity. I still remember the stand-up where he threw around slurs.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that would, yeah.
What?
It's a very, very famous stand-up thing that was filmed that Eddie Murphy did.
I don't remember
Very,
this.
very funny, but not aged well. Not aged well in places.
Oh my fucking God.
So Foley breaks. He punches Ellis in the gut and then punches him in the face for good measure. Security just mob him.
This wouldn't happen, right? They'd just shoot him. They would have just...
Well, there's the risk of accidentally shooting someone else at a security event.
So apparently these guys aren't very skilled at their job. They're
disarmed very easily.
And they can't shoot a guy that has got onto stage and started beating up the man of the hour.
Yeah. Foley has ruined this award ceremony. Like, the night is ruined. Those kids are crying.
Good.
So Foley is in a jail cell. He uses this one phone call to phone Flint to tell him that him and Rosewood were arrested for disturbing the peace, and can you get us out? Flint takes this opportunity to tell Foley that the van from the chop shop has been located, the one that had all the things in that Ellis took.
Mm-hmm.
It's down by the beach near Santa Monica Pier. So just keep that in mind. Put a pin in that. Foley is released, only Foley, and then taken to a special office where the FBI agent Fulbright is there waiting for him, who has not been in this film for 40 minutes. Suddenly he's back in it. He calls Foley a maverick. There it is, G.
There you go.
Somewhat of a maverick.
He also says that he knows Foley's whole plan to get in people's faces, to like hound them, hassle them, to make them panic, and then like do something stupid or reveal something or whatever.
Right.
But the FBI doesn't work this way. They do everything by the book. They take years to take down a single guy. Fulbright hands Foley a first-class ticket back to Detroit. And he also gives him his business card. And Foley says, I give you my word as a gentleman, I'll be on that plane.
And he does not get on that plane.
He ain't a gentleman.
He's not a gentleman. But he's a maverick. So
he is. So surely Fulbright would expect this.
I love that guy's hat in the car and the radio that the microphone thing that he had. I forget his name. Fulbright?
Billy Rosewood.
Billy Rosewood, the guy.
JD Jojo C.
Yeah, the hat.
Jeez.
DDOJSIOC on the hat. And they're like, who
He's
are
just
you even
wasting his time.
Yeah, like
nonsense.
Who are you even talking to on the radio? Who are you? Who are you?
It's like, I'm coordinating with this department and this department and this department and the naval services and this and the SWAT team. And it's like, oh my god, just for like an abandoned van on a beach.
Fucking Baywatch pulls up. All the cops pull up.
Yeah, there's literally like women wearing the Baywatch swimsuit in like a Jeep.
What the fuck are the Baywatch people gonna do, bro? They're holding their.
I don't know. It shows that he's like massively he's trying to show off by using all of his resources and show how important he is, that he has all these people at his fingertips.
The complete opposite to how Foley handled it at the beginning.
Yeah, true.
But they get to the van, it's painted a different colour, and inside it's empty apart from just a bit of like detritus on the floor of it. Nothing in there. No people, no loot, no nothing. But they go through all the dust and sand and trash and remnants, and Foley finds a tiny little fragment of it's like a watermark, but they describe it as like a barcode for some reason.
Because the writers don't know shit.
It's not a barcode.
The writers don't know shit about what's going on. They're just like, whatever. I'm not going to research what that is. It's like me going. Oh, I've got a thing. It's got the bar. You know, the barcode thing. And write that in the script. Like, and they didn't fucking change it.
It's like they just saw. Like now, people can look up anything at the. Every information is available ready, right? Whereas back then, you'd have to go to larger lengths to double check this sort of stuff, and people just sort of took this shit.
Hey, what's that thing called on the notes? What's that thing called? You couldn't just Google that. You'd have to go to the library.
You'd have to go to the
Ask
library.
for an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You'd have to go to the bank. You'd have to ask somebody.
Oh, I guess you could just do that.
You could ask somebody. You could ask literally anybody.
Phone a friend.
And they go,
maybe,
oh, you mean a watermark?
Maybe if you're doing a film about counterfeiting, you would like talk to someone that was involved in how like dollar bills are made. Do some research.
Yeah.
Just a thought. So yeah, this is a bit of a dollar bill, but it's inkless. Suspicious.
Very.
And then we see we're back in Wonderworld, and Okie Dokie the elephant is walking around, but something's a bit off because the Axel F music is playing as he's walking around.
Musical cues, they're fantastic little bits of narrative, aren't they?
It's like a weird whimsical cover of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do end up changing it here and there throughout the film to, when there's like a fight or a gunfight, when it's just sort of he's just wandering around, it's just different notes of that.
It's the same music but arranged in a different way.
Yeah, it's not
got a
so
different-
bad.
Cheap synthesizer playing it instead
Yeah.
of like an orchestra.
We never hear the Crazy Frog version, though, thankfully.
It's so funny because when I was like talking about this movie with one of my friends and they said Axel, because I totally forgotten the cop's name was Axel, and I'm like, you're not thinking of the Crazy Frog, are you?
Oh my god.
Well, I didn't realize that the Crazy Frog was like, I guess, they sampled the
I
song.
didn't realize the Crazy Frog was a real person.
It was a real no, but I think the name of the artist is called Axel, right?
No,
Axel.
they just named it Axel F.
Oh,
as
they
a-
did. Crazy Frog Axel
because
F.
it's Axel
Axel
Foley.
Yeah.
Axel F. Yeah.
There you go.
So it's Axel Foley inside the costume, and a little kid wants a hug, but then like I think his older brother like starts yelling at him to like
Such
dance and
He's a
stuff.
piece of
Little
You gotta be
shit.
nice to me. You gotta be nice to me. And then he like hits him in the fucking balls. And Axel Foley pushes him into a fountain and then runs off before his grandmother.
I love
beat him up.
his response to this kid. He's like, "You little motherfucker, I'll kick your ass." I'm like, "Hell yeah. Don't be nice to kids. They're little assholes." They
Oh my
deserve
god,
it.
G-Star Games 2023.
Don't be nice to kids.
But kids get away with so much, man. And like
They do,
I don't,
they bloody
and
do.
people are like, "Oh, they're just kids." What? This is how people grow up to be turds, all right? If you don't correct
Oh my god.
their behavior.
This is very
Jesus.
true.
It's true.
What happened to me? Yeah.
If you're spoiled, you get your own way all the time. You're gonna be a shit.
You are
going
going to be a shit. And in my experience, people do tend to grow up to be like that. So
Oh my god. We have a great shot of a bunch of mascots like gambling and playing cards.
I think you
really
mean
like that.
furries.
Not
They're
furries,
just
they're
employed
mascots.
furries.
It's not their
They're just
hobby,
a
it's
furry
their
with
job.
a job.
I know, but my brain
my
is so broken that all I could picture was furries.
My fursona is a massive fucking elephant.
And there's a second okie dokie elephant that thinks that Axel Foley is like his co-worker, and he's like, "Oh, how's Irene? How's the kids?"
He just says
And
the
Axel's
same
just like,
thing.
"Yeah, they're good."
He just says the same thing every time he bumps into him.
No, Axel
No.
Foley says that to the other guy.
Yeah, he like takes that little factoid and he does it like, oh, this must be Louis. So I'll ask Louis how his family is, or whoever it was. I think
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, how's Irene? How's the kids?
Yeah.
He does that back to the other guy, to the third elephant man.
Oh, I didn't realize there was another
Yeah.
one.
David Lynch's Elephant Man.
Jesus
Oh my God.
Christ.
That would have a different tone to the movie. The mascots all look like that. Axel goes off with Janice to a little room, and she shows him blueprints of the tunnel system. The only restricted area in the whole of the theme park is the Happy Forest. Do you remember? It's under reconstruction and refurbishment and whatever.
Being renovated.
So it's closed. So it's the one place that's off limits to everyone. And then Janice gets a bit horners.
She likes
Foley
furries.
Yeah.
asks her, how long's it been closed? And she says, too long.
She's talking about a vagina.
Yeah.
Oh!
But Axel's talking about the Happy Forest.
Oh, but
Happy
what?
Forest is actually a good...
I didn't even catch on to that. That's so funny.
It's like
Oh my
she's going,
God.
the Happy Forest has been closed for too long. You big
My
sexy
Happy Forest
elephant.
needs your elephant trunk inside of it. Oh my God. Foley rips off part of the blueprints that's got the Happy Forest on and just
Well, he
runs
makes
off.
Janice do it for him because he's got big stupid elephant hands.
Oh
on.
yeah, that's a good point.
And he says,
Good
"Shove
point.
it down my shirt," and then off they go.
Yeah. Foley heads through a vent
Event.
to the Happy
Events.
Forest.
I wrote that down.
And there's Sussy, etc. Among Us. Yeah.
And then he meets.
Jesus.
And then he meets the other. That's when he meets the other elephant. See.
Yeah, and he repeats the line.
And then he goes. He breaks. He gets in to the happy forest.
And there's a train and a castle and stuff.
It's lovely.
Which
I like.
I'm not sure, like the medieval theme and a train. I'm not sure that really goes
This
together.
is why they're renovating it. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, good point.
They're like,
yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Axel climbs up onto a catwalk and he sees that there's like a very modern office that's hidden in the happy forest. And he's looking down and he sees that they're printing out money. They're counterfeiting dollar bills.
God.
$50 bills, not $1 bills. And then Ellis walks in and he rolls a natural 20 on spot hidden and sees in a mirror Axel Foley
really
up on the catwalk.
Handily placed, isn't it? That.
Why is that mirror there? I maybe there's like a hand washing station or something because it looks like there's a sink below it.
Yeah, but it's just a weird thing to have.
In an office? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Don't you think that it would be like a green room? You know, like the mascots hang out backstage, as it were. If there was, you know, like they have like a break room and they're just hanging out, and it might have been full of lockers and like tables and stuff for people to sit down because it's in the back. It's in the back of the happy
in the back
forest.
rooms.
In the back rooms. Of the happy forest. So yeah,
Foley no clips into the counterfeiting room. Oh my god! So yeah, Ellis is like he's above us. Get him! He's above us. Foley's attacked, but he's like, you know, he's really good at punching people, and he like punches a couple of goons, swings down on a fluorescent light, and then just escapes through the door. And I don't know how he managed to get away from this scenario. It seems a bit unlikely. And he goes up some stairs and he's in the middle of like a performance with a big crowd watching. And there's a bunch of these mascots all singing and dancing.
On a stage. He's come out on a stage with the mascots.
And it looks like there's a little cottage that he came out of. And they're in like the garden
it's really
around the cottage.
Weird that you'd have like that on a stage, like the stairs going down on the stage. Like, why would you put it on the stage?
It doesn't. I don't know. It's the magic of Wonderworld.
Explain it to me.
I guess. And he like dances along as though he's part of the act,
which is
a little bit cringe.
It's really cringe. It's so stupid. Like, why would you even?
And then there's a message that goes out to security, but it's on like the PA system. It says, "Will the DeWald family come to Tiny Town?" That's where he is, Tiny Town, which explains like the cottage and garden, I guess. But it's also a fun fair with like carousels. So,
if you've got a town and you want to turn it into a place with carousels and shit, then you do it. Don't let things
remember
hold
the
you
last
back.
time I've been on a carousel. I remember they were
Oh,
fun.
I do.
Was it the Pleasure Beach?
Sophie remembers the last time G was on a carousel.
Yeah,
shit!
So it was back when G was about. She was probably about 10 or 11, and she had a really nice time. No, there's a carousel on the North Pier at Blackpool, and it's been there for decades. And
it hasn't burnt down.
It goes quite fast, to be honest.
So like a Wurlitzer or something.
Yeah. It's a classic. It's nice. I like it, but I also did get scared because it's just a thing that spins around really fast and
it makes you feel sick. Yeah,
scares me.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
don't like it.
And it goes up and down the horses. You can choose a horse that doesn't go up and down, but you know you want to choose one that goes up and down. Really, you've got the choice.
Do one that makes the experience worse for you.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember,
and they all have names, by the way. They're the horses.
Oh my god!
What?
They name the horses, and I would always find we would try and find ones with our names on them. Every time.
Right.
I remember going to I think I've told you this story before, but I went to a mall, I guess, in Sydney when I was like younger with my mom, and I had like a strawberry milkshake, and they had like the little teacup ride thing. It was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because, strawberry milkshake, teacup ride.
Oh, no.
Strawberry milkshakes don't really mix well with spinning movements.
No. It was a hard lesson to learn because, oh boy.
Oh boy.
I don't remember the last time I went to, I would love to go to a theme park again. Like, it's just been way too long.
Come to Blackpool. Come to Blackpool, I'll take you to the pleasure beach.
Yeah, it's not far. Go to Blackpool, meet up with Sophie, go on some rides.
I'll just sit and watch you.
It is £38.
Sophie does
It's
not
£38
like rides. She's going to be like
Yeah,
my
but
She
mom.
can hold your stuff and watch you.
That was my job, all right? We went on a school trip to Alton Towers, and because I didn't want to go on roller coasters then either, I just held everybody's bags.
She can hold your phone and your coat.
I did go on the kids' rides, though, like the little ones.
Do you find them like stressful? Do you like...
Oh God, I hate. I get giddy going around a corner in a car. Like, I am the worst person for any sort of movement. Trains, oh my God, that is like, what are we doing? But forget about it.
You're fine with the kid rides. Now, often on those kid rides, it does say you have to be this short.
This short.
To
This
get
tall.
on board. Yeah. No, you have to be this short,
No.
so you have to be like under. Do you want to keep correcting me, even though you're wrong?
Well, because
Kids rides,
yeah.
you have to be this short.
Kids rides. Kids often go on rides with their parents because they're too fucking chicken shit.
Oh.
Exactly,
And-
Simon.
To
I
be
was going
fair,
to make a joke about her being short.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
I
It's fine.
know.
It's ruined.
Let
now.
me tell you an anecdote about the time that I did go to the pleasure beach this year with
Oh,
my
God.
mom and my sister, and I nearly had a fucking panic attack. It was the Alice in Wonderland ride,
Oh no.
and it smells exactly the same as it did when I went when I was a kid.
Oh,
It's weird. For some reason, it's playing the song of "I've Got a Golden Ticket" from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's Alice in
Oh.
fucking Wonderland. Why is it?
Wait, that's.
Yeah, and it's all psychedelic, and it's a dark ride. It's like inside, and you ride
Oh,
a big
no.
cat. And it was the
Oh.
one ride I went on, and it was worth it. I fucking loved it. It was so good. But it was terrifying, the movement of it.
It's because there was like the movie world in Queensland. They had the Lethal Weapon ride.
What?
Isn't that insane? And it was a pretty intense. It was very intense ride. A lot of loops. Very, very intense for a child. But
The other thing that I did at the pleasure beach was there's this like House of Illusions, and you walk through it and stuff.
I love
but
those kinds of things.
It's like a fun house sort of thing,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
loads of mirrors and like tilty floors and stuff. That nearly gave me a panic attack. I was like, this is fucking horrible.
Well, because they're sort of like structured to kind of trap you.
Disorientate you.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. I was freaking out. And I wasn't very steady on my feet anyway. I had my crutch and a wheelchair that day. And so I was just like freaking out, going, Rosie, help me. Help me get out.
Help.
Help me.
Just
Oh,
For people listening, Sophie wasn't a child.
This was this year.
It was this year that this happened.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. It's not funny.
You're the one setting it up to be like some sort of joke. All right.
How dare you? How dare you?
Poor Sophie.
I loved it. It was so fucking good.
Good.
I got a bucket and spade full of chips.
A bucket
Yeah.
and spade.
A bucket and spade
Please
with
tell
chips
me
in it.
you have a picture of this.
I do have a picture.
Oh my god!
I have a picture
Instead
of-
of salt, they sprinkle sand over your chips.
Oh no.
I had a good day out. It was really nice.
Sophie's day out.
Sophie, it was the first day out I've had in a long time, to be honest. Anyway, I fucking love theme parks. It's good shit.
They're great.
That's why you picked this film.
I think it is actually why I picked this film. I just like the vibe. I like the atmosphere. I like everything that's going on. Like,
Yeah, it's feel good. It is so feel good. You can't feel bad unless you've been on like a million rides and you feel queasy and horrible and tired.
Even then, it's like it was the whole sort of thing. There was a fountain. There's a fountain show that goes off every half hour, and every half hour there's some like bodyguards that tell kids to stop fucking playing in the fountain. It's like their job is to tell kids to fuck off, and they just stand there. And
Ideal job.
My mom filmed it, and she thought she was filming it in normal speed, but it was actually in like stop motion, so it was like really fast. She did it in time-lapse photography.
Amazing.
And my mum was like, she's like, oh, it was over really fast. And I looked at the video and it was like 3 seconds long. I was like, lady. Anyway. Lady.
Oh my God.
God, where were we?
Foley's in Tiny Town and he rushes to find a phone to tell Fulbright that he's found what the FBI are looking for. But then someone fucking shoots at him and security guards are trying to kill him. And Janice is watching this on CCTV and calls 911 and Flint gets the call and he's on his way. Foley is surrounded by security guards that all show that they've got guns under their jackets. And Foley looks around at all the little boys and girls that are all playing, having the time of their lives, eating candy floss. Their dreams are coming true. This is the best day out they've ever had in the magical kingdom of Wonderworld. And then he pulls out his gun, fires it into the air, causing a scene. Someone's videoing this. So he knows that if he does this and he becomes the center of attention, they're not going to just gun him down.
Right.
Which is a bold plan, but it does work.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why he did that, because I wasn't 100% sure, even though I was on the same track as you in thought. But yeah,
everything
very
he
bold.
does makes him look like a crazy person in this film.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to him, they did try to shoot him while he was... I don't remember what part of the movie, if this was before or after, but he was on the phone and they tried to take him out with a silenced gun, right?
It's literally this scene, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. So I get it. If, shooting off the gun, making a scene, probably a safe bet.
With loads of witnesses around him. Then we have... Oh my God, this is the doors again. Ellis walks through a door, and then Flint walks through a door, and Foley is just acting and talking like a crazy person. And then Fulbright walks through the door, and Foley explains to him that there's a hidden room in the Happy Forest. He's got the blueprint. This is where it is. And they're counterfeiting money, and they go and check it out. And of course, it's not dollar bills that are being printed. It's Wally World dollars. They're not counterfeiting. They're making a new currency that they're going to be using and giving away at the amusement park. So he looks a real idiot now.
Mm-hmm.
But Fulbright kind of walks outside the room with Foley and he says, Now listen here, you little shit. The FBI have been spending a year sucking up to this guy Ellis. We've been investigating this and you've just blown the whole fucking thing for us. But he says this quite loudly.
He
and
does.
There's only the door directly behind them where Ellis is standing.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he could overhear this.
Yeah. I did notice that, but I was like, oh, maybe it's just a choice, I guess. Let it happen.
But Fulbright orders Foley back to Detroit, hands him over to Flint's custody. They walk away, but they've walked away, and then a second later, Ellis says, "Make sure he doesn't get off the plane." Which, surely they would have overheard him say that.
So, yeah, honestly.
I'm losing my mind. So Flint drives Foley away, and Foley realizes they're being followed by the security people. Foley suddenly yells out to stop the car. Then he jumps out the car and just legs it. And no one, follows him on foot.
They just sort of shrug. They just go, that's Axel Foley.
Pretty fast. He's pretty quick. I don't know if I can catch up with him. He's running very quick.
Well, no, they do go to chase. He catches the two security catch up to Flint, and he's like, no, don't worry. I'll get him. I'll sort him out. And then they just stop.
He's long gone.
Yeah.
He's disappeared. Yeah. They just let him go. Nonsense. Foley meets up with Uncle Dave. It's dark and they're outside somewhere. But at least when they're outside, it means that people aren't going to enter through a door into the room.
No, more nonsense happens. This scene annoyed the shit out of me.
Foley examines the note and says, this note that Roger, the park designer, left, there has to be more to it. And he's like holding it in his hands and he recognizes the texture of the paper. It's the same as a $50 bill. So, and then he sees that even the watermarks are on the note that he didn't notice before. So clearly they're using this blank paper to counterfeit the dollar bills. It has to be on this very special paper. And just as he figures this out, Ellis is like, oh, hey, guys, I'm here. They didn't hear him just arrive. He's just suddenly there.
That's what I'm saying. How do they not realize that? I mean, they must have been engrossed in their... I mean, I guess they had their backs to him, so they could have snuck up, but... Yeah,
this scene had to be shot outside because of like the cars and the getaway. But if it was shot indoors, John Landis would have had Ellis walk through the door into the room where they are.
And we all know how much you love that.
Apparently so. Ellis had been tracking Uncle Dave, knowing that Foley would meet up with him, which... Huh? Sure.
Yeah.
Ellis takes the note and then shoots Uncle Dave, framing Foley as a maniac with a homicidal grudge against the park and its owners and everything. It's even Foley's gun that he shot him with.
Very clever.
And then there's a weird moment where Foley just magically overpowers 3 armed men,
which he usually does, mind you. He does it all the time, and it's gobsmacking.
And he grabs the gun, holds it to Ellis, takes the note back, importantly, and then jumps into Uncle Dave's car and drives off with Uncle Dave bleeding out in the car.
He's really bad at acting his Uncle Dave dying. He's going like, he's reaching out and goes,
He's trying. The license plate is even Wonderworld.
Wonderworld.
The car.
Got the Wonderworld.
No vowels. Uncle Dave isn't dead yet, though. Foley takes him to the hospital.
The hospital took his clothes off, but didn't bother to stop the bleeding. They just, like, undressed him first. They were just like...
Yeah, that's a bit
And then
odd.
wheeling him somewhere.
Yeah.
Come on, he's dead in his blood. Quick, we need to stop the bleeding. And it's like, you've taken his shirt off.
No, we must strip him.
So undress
That's more
this
important.
man. Undress him. You're getting blood all over his clothes.
I'm not sure of the correct treatment of... I think it's to put a tampon inside the wound.
It works.
The only thing I know.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
They have packing stuff, which is like basically absorbent like tampons. But tampons were invented to stop nosebleeds.
Oh my god.
Were they?
What the fuck?
Like they're used really extensively throughout, like especially rugby. They have them like for people who have to get nosebleed. Like they have to get nosebleeds. It's like if they get nosebleeds a lot, they're like, right, stick a tampon up your nose, love.
There you go.
I've seen
some good advice.
I've seen it joked about in various movies about using a tampon for a nosebleed, but I didn't know.
No, it's genuinely a thing.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
That's what you do.
Well, no, they sort of they always frame it as like, oh, you know, you should. Here's a quirky tip: use a tampon to stop nosebleeds. And I'm like, oh, okay.
A quirky tip.
They do.
Quirky tip.
They do. They frame
quirky
it.
tips with G-Star Games.
5-minute crafts. Use a fucking tampon for your nosebleed.
Axel just stays with Uncle Dave until he decides to go get coffee. He walks past 2 cops, asks them where the coffee machine is, and then their radios call out an APB for Axel Foley. So he jumps out of a window and runs off. Well, no, he walks very casually but also suspiciously down the street. He walks into a hotel lobby to make a call, and the guests hear about Uncle Dave being shot. They ask the guy to turn on the TV. Ellis answers the phone instead of Janice, that Foley was calling, tells Foley he's got 1 hour to get back to Wonderworld, and he has to be alone and unarmed. The TV then shows the footage that guy was filming when Axel Foley's surrounded by the security guards, pulls his gun out and fires in the air with his name, Axel Foley, on stage. They all turn to where the phone is, but Axel Foley's gone. And it's like, oh my God, that was a close one.
Very close. I stand corrected. The tampon was actually first invented as a contraceptive. I mean, they've been used for centuries and centuries anyway, just like the general gist of it.
Okay.
But there you go.
Unsubscribe. Tampon's facts.
No!
Dr. Earl Haas. Thank you, Earl.
Oh my God.
Cheers, Earl.
Foley is walking out the hotel and a guy in a car pulls up, just presumes that he's the valet, hands over his car keys. Foley takes them and just drives off. He arrives at the exhibition that was at the awards ceremony to find Serge to get a weapon off of him because he needs to kill some bad guys. The only gun available is the floor model of the Annihilator 2000 that has it's the massive fucking gun that's got the microwave in it. Foley takes it with him and chucks it over the wall of Wonderworld and then drives up to the entrance.
I can't believe you didn't mention that Serge is so upset by the fact that it's a floor model because people have been breathing all over it. It's got particles on it, so he wants his assistant to wipe it down with some cologne, make it nice for him, and put it into a bag. And
I guess cologne's got high alcohol content, so it would potentially kill the germs.
That's true.
So actually, quite smart of Serge.
But I don't think germs are a big deal. Like.
Yeah.
When you're in this situation.
So Foley's in the park control room. Ellis enters with Janice, demanding the note back. Foley's got some dumb plan of Janice getting to the car, phoning on a mobile. It's nonsense. But basically, this is when the key ring comes into play. Ellis asks Foley for the keys to the car so he can get the notes, which he presumes has been left in there. Because
Ellis has said that he knows that cops are slow at thinking because he used to be a cop. So he's always thinking like one step ahead. And Axel's like, I'll give you the paper, but like, if you let her go back to the car, if you let Janice go back to the car, I'll give you the paper. Case closed. And he's like, but I know that you will have left the paper in the car so that when Janice drives off, then she's got the evidence. Give me your car keys. And
Axel pushes the button on the fucking key ring Serge gave him. And it's like a sun exploding.
Or it's like a flashbang.
Yeah.
It's like a flashbang. It's crazy. We see everyone's skeletons. I don't think we do, but it's that bright that you could almost see them. This is enough of a distraction to snatch the gun from Ellis. But just as Foley's about to sort of like figure out what to do next, Rosewood walks in through a door in the fucking... It's like, come on! John Landis, come on! What is happening? People walking through doors into rooms. This distracts Foley, and then a fist fight breaks out. Everyone gets involved, even Rosewood. But then Rosewood and Janice end up getting locked in the fucking mainframe control room because a fire alarm is broken. So they're locked in there with like fire retardant stuff, you know.
It's basically they've turned the AC up because they want the mainframe to stay cool in case of fire, so that it doesn't overheat and fucking break.
AC, why is it like so opaque? This gas that's entering the room.
Because
it is, isn't it?
They need to show it.
And why are they choking?
They need to show it happening.
Like they're suffocating.
It looked like a sauna at first because I was like, are they like? Why is this so thick? And
they're
gaseous?
like acting really cold.
Yeah.
This is like the brain of the theme park. This room that they're locked in.
Yeah. Got to keep all the.
Do you think they would take advantage of that and like hack the mainframe?
Well, especially her, who is a computer whiz.
Yeah, you'd think that was what they would do, but no. There's a gunfight that breaks out, and someone shoots towards them, shoots the mainframe, and that causes all the rides and lights to come on in the theme park. Which I don't know how that works. Surely everything would shut down, not all start up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Foley manages to escape, and Rosewood has the plan to use the modem line on the mainframe to call Flint's pager. Now, a pager is what people used to have before mobile phones. It was a little device you'd carry around with you wherever you left the house, and it had a little screen on it that would show a phone number of someone that tried to call your phone number, your landline. And then you would know they were calling you, and you'd see their number, and then you would go to a landline and call them back. A landline is like, it's a phone line, but it's like physically connected to a telephone network.
It's really,
using
really
wires. Not, you don't have it in your pocket. Anyway, I hope the Zoomers know what we're talking about now.
I felt myself aging as you were explaining that.
A modem is what we use for computers now, all right? It's not Wi-Fi, but it connects you to the internet.
It does.
The internet is a series of tubes.
Yep.
So John Saxon tells security that Foley is in Hometown Square. Foley has retrieved the Annihilator 2000, and he's trying to fire it at security, and I think it fires a T-shirt or something off of it.
It's a net. It's a net at first.
It's a net, but it doesn't open.
It's just sort of
flops. Yeah.
It was so dark, I couldn't tell what the fuck it was. That was a net.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And then it plays rap music, and then it plays a really bad Jerry Lewis song, which is like the most annoying song I've ever heard in my life. It's like Joe Pasquale singing.
Yeah, it's really bad. It was dead funny, though. I liked that. I laughed.
And then it fires a fucking rocket and blows up a popcorn stand and takes out a security guard.
They were eating popcorn at the time, I think, weren't they?
I think everyone was surprised.
Everyone was
that
eating
when
popcorn.
Yeah. Foley goes towards alien attack. He fires it up and pushes a button, I think. The Cylon comes to life. The earthquake thing starts going. A man is like fucking crushed to death. And then another one is set on fire. But like, this insanely dangerous.
Helping.
Foley shoots someone, and then he kneels behind them, lifts up the
It's the
guy's...
funniest fucking bit in the film.
He lifts up the dead guy's arm to point, and then he says, "He ran up them stairs!"
like it's a Weekend at Bernie's type thing that's gone on there. And I laughed so hard.
Yeah, it's so fucking dumb. But yeah, two of these like security goons go up the stairs, and then like 10,000 gallons of water just wash them away. Oh my God. Very dangerous, this ride. My God. Stay inside the ride at all times.
Please keep your hands and arms inside the ride.
You'll fucking die. Flint hears from headquarters. He's like at a scene of a fire. He hears that the number that keeps paging him is the computer system at Wonderworld. And then a firefighter says, "Wonderworld, did you hear Uncle Dave got shot?" And it's like Flint is like, all these numbers and like equations are appearing in front of him, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. We go back to Wonderworld. Foley is now in the land of the dinosaurs. Ellis and one of his security goons are there. Ellis turns on a bunch of things. A goon shoots at a frozen caveman because the light suddenly comes on. He thinks it's Axel Foley. And Foley's scared by a very cool-looking saber-toothed tiger that I love.
So there is actually a ride that is in the Pleasure Beach that is like this ride.
Oh my God. No way.
Yeah, it's like a water ride, and you go through and there's like still like big stuffed dinosaurs and stuff. And it's really cool. Man. It's so
Are they
cool.
like water? Are they water dinosaurs or just like
They're not. They're just normal dinosaurs. They're just standing at the side making noises.
It's a water
and stuff.
dinosaur.
Like Loch Ness Monster?
I love him in Loch Ness Monster.
The one that ate the PA in Jurassic World? Do you remember that? That was fucking horrible.
Mm.
A poor woman.
Plesiosaur.
So Rosewood breaks out of the sealed room that they're in. Don't quite know how, but he just manages to break through. John Saxon is in the counterfeit room, and he previously said, "Oh, print all of them, print out all the money. Oh, I want loads of money printed out of this machine." And then he checks the notes that are being printed, and they're Wonderworld dollars printed on the fucking official US paper, but it has Axel Foley's face on and the words "kiss my ass."
Axel took the time to do
when
that.
When did he do this?
No,
did
you not see him doing it?
No.
He was like typing on the computer. He was like doing it. He killed some guys, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking spend ages photoshopping my own face into this shit." It's not.
I'm sure it's like a 2-second shot.
It was.
That would have taken him half an hour to do.
It would have taken him ages, basically.
I didn't even notice.
Oh my god!
This. I saw his face, but I didn't see the kiss my ass.
Kiss my ass, yeah. Oh my god. John Saxon yells out, he's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" And then he recognizes someone, and they shoot him to death. But we know that it can't be Foley and it can't be Ellis, because they're both in the land of the dinosaurs. So who was it?
Mystery.
Ta-da.
Rosewood is just walking through the park at night, listening to this fucking loop of the Wonderworld theme song, which is, my god, quite annoying. And a security guard walks out of like a tree. They lock eyes, and Billy does this like magical quick draw thing, which I think was a thing from previous movies, that he practices like drawing his gun really quickly, like he's a cowboy. And he kills the guard because he's so fucking badass at being a quick draw. So I guess that's like a thing from the earlier films. I can barely remember. But then someone opens fire on Billy, and Billy shoots him, but the guy manages to return fire with a machine gun. So Billy is like, he might be dead! He's very badly injured at the very least! Flint is now in the park as well, and there's a fucking guy on the spider ride shooting at him?
No, it wasn't the spider ride. It was like some sort of...
It was like a monorail type thing where...
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was the same ride.
No, it just looked...
Okay.
The compartment looked similar-ish. It was just bright
the little
red.
pods, yeah.
But he got him.
But yeah, Flint manages to kill him, and he yells out, "Turn that fucking song off!" Because it's just on loop throughout the whole park. Ellis is riding on the dino ride, and he manages to shoot Foley, hitting him. But Foley manages to get away, and then he basically does the clever girl thing from Jurassic Park, where he like goes around and catches him on the side. Which I don't think was a reference to Jurassic Park, because I think they were released on this in the same year, maybe around the same time. They have a real lame kind of fight on this slow-moving ride. They fall off. Foley is shot again by Ellis, but Foley manages to like do some gun kata or something. That's literally what he's doing. He's like knocking guns out of the way and shooting. It's nonsense. It's real nonsense.
Not the gun kata.
Not the gun kata.
I totally just purged that from my mind.
So Foley like has a bit of a sit down and a rest. He's like injured, knackered, and then who should show up but Fulbright? Fulbright is here. He apologizes to Foley, says that Foley was right about everything, but Foley's like, "Yeah, I know I'm right, and I know that someone else was a partner involved in this." Oh my god, it's Fulbright's a baddie! He pulls out a gun, but again, Foley does some gun guitar or some shit and manages to shoot Fulbright to death. Then we have a wounded Billy Rosewood that walks in, and he collapses, but in a funny way. He's smiling when he goes down. Flint's laughing. Flint is there as well now. Where he came from, fuck knows. He laughs and he says he needs medical attention. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, then we have the closing ceremony, like the end of Star Wars. Axel Foley's in a wheelchair with like a cast on. Uncle Dave is there. He clears Foley's name, champions him as a hero. And the park now has a new mascot to celebrate Axel Foley. It's Axel Fox!
Way.
And then Janice makes a crude joke about her vagina.
Yeah. She feels a tunnel of love.
I totally missed that one too. So many sexual innuendos.
Her happy forest or her tunnel of love, whatever it is.
I thought
vagina joke.
that thing on his head was confetti. Up until this very moment.
Right.
I have the movie on the left, and I thought, because the confetti was quite large, and I'm like, why did they leave that huge piece of confetti on his forehead?
It's a plaster or something, right?
It's a massive
Bandage.
plaster. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Sophie, this was your pick. Would you like to summarize your final thoughts on Beverly Hills Cop 3 and give it a rating, if you'd be so kind?
Good times all round, 8 out of 10.
Okay, good times all round, 8 out of 10.
I really liked it. I mean, obviously. I think it's really fucking stupid. I like that George Lucas is in it. I like that John Sachs is in it. I like that it's set in a theme park. It's very memorable. And it's just daft as fuck. They're just making the most of the setting, really. I enjoyed it.
Good. Is that okay?
That's it.
G, would you like to go next? Or
Yeah, it was fun. To feel good in certain aspects. It's quite wacky. But it keeps you sort of hooked. There's no real like slow or dull moments. God, it without watching the first two, I mean, like Bouphe said, you don't really need to, because there's not a lot of like in-depth things that are like so important, because they do sort of frame things. Like when he goes back and he meets his old friend who works at the LA office, and he's got this specific position in the LA police office and blah blah blah. It's fine. It's fun. It is, I guess, memorable in the sense that it's set at a theme park, which is nice. Probably a 6.
6?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That makes sense. That's fair, I think.
It's a feel good.
Okay.
It's still feel good. And I do like these kinds of films because they do, it makes you feel good. Makes you feel happy. I feel happy watching it because I'm like, I love the theme park stuff. So this is a nice...
It's chill. It's funny and chill and funny.
Yeah. I loved it.
Okay. Lovely. I it's not a great film. I wouldn't even really say it was a good film.
I wouldn't even really say it was a film.
Yeah.
I didn't even say it was a film. It's more just shots of people walking through doors. I don't know. I don't think I would recommend this film to anyone, really. Like, if you like theme parks, I'm sure you'd get a lot out of it. Sure. I think it's a good background movie to have on, to not necessarily pay 100% attention to.
Yeah.
It's just something to watch on a rainy Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. That's
I think it's what you did, isn't it?
Pretty much, actually.
It was very rainy yesterday. Yeah.
So I gave it 10 out of 10. I gave it 5 out of 10.
All right. I have a question.
I just don't really like it. I just don't really like it.
Is it
nonsense?
Do you not like it because it's weaker out of the 3, or are you looking at?
I'm not comparing it to the other films. I just think, as it stands by itself, it's not a particularly charming or unique film. I think it's pretty forgettable. I mean, arguably they're all forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
All films. No, all Beverly Hills Cop films, to a degree, are just... They're not the best action movies.
They are fun, though.
If it wasn't for Eddie Murphy, no one would remember these films at all.
Yeah. Like, I've seen the first 2, and I just don't remember a single thing about them. Other than the fact that...
damning, isn't it?
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm not... like, my memory isn't that great, but I do remember certain films and certain things about films, but the first 2 of these just nothing screams to me about anything for other than the fact that Eddie Murphy's in them.
I think it's because I watch them fairly regularly. It's one of those, I mean, like Simon says, it's one of the films that you put on to not pay attention to. It's a feel-good background film. But it's one that I sort of come round to putting on fairly often, I guess, in the grand scheme of things.
That's fair. I can totally see that as a nice, feel-good background movie to have on. I can totally see that.
Come here, Keith.
It feels like an if you watched it and you hadn't seen the other two, this feels like episode 3 of a TV show in some aspects.
Oh my god, yeah. I get what you're saying. 100%. Yeah.
My
god.
Odd. But still okay. Still a decent enough film.
There's a Keith on the desk.
Oh.
Keithy!
Boy. What are you going to say? He's got his thumbs out for everybody. Hello.
Oh, he's got his thumbs
Oh, he's a good boy.
We've got some great trivia about this film.
So, did you notice in the end credits, Max Landis was thanked?
Oh God.
Express. Keith, what you pressing? Okay, there we go. John Landis was the guy who directed that film.
Where the people died.
People died. Vic Morrow and 2 children. It got decapitated by a helicopter. That's his legacy. He killed people.
A bit of trivia.
He killed people.
Oh my god!
He got away with it. He killed people and
still had a career.
Still had a career after it because people don't care about children in underdeveloped countries who were being exploited.
And that's our trivia. Hope you enjoyed it.
Dude, the top trivia on IMDb is John Landis claimed that Eddie Murphy worked against the comedy of the film by deliberately not being funny. Landis knew the script wasn't very good, but he figured that Murphy could save it with his comedic routine. However, Murphy felt that his Axel Foley character was an adult now and played him much more seriously, deliberately sidestepping around the comedy. Landis said that the film was a very strange experience and an odd movie.
I read somewhere that Eddie Murphy was very depressed at the time of filming.
Yeah.
So, which makes it even more ironic that he's trying to do a comedy film and he's just like really depressed about everything.
Yeah, you can kind of sense that a little bit.
You definitely can.
He's not his like he is in certain aspects and in certain scenes, but then in the other ones where he's trying to be a bit more mellow about the comedy, you can tell.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm not convinced.
A little bit. You can tell that the comedy wasn't really there. That doesn't really feel like Eddie Murphy to me. Eddie Murphy feels a lot more over the top.
He's headbutting the microphone.
Oh.
Say something nice to people. No, he's staring off into space.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh, good boy.
Patreon.com/yompcast.
Patreon.com/Keith.
Keith.
Oh, good boy.
Keith.
So when Eddie Murphy was asked about a third Beverly Hills Cop film, he said, "There's no reason to do it. I don't need the money, and it's not going to break any new ground."
He wasn't wrong there.
He basically says the only reason he'd ever do it is like a lot of money. And he did get a lot of money. He got about $15 million.
Jesus.
But some reports said that if you include what his production company got, it was nearer $27 million for this film. So
Bloody Nora.
Nice.
I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that's the rumored amount. Also, the man who played Uncle Dave, Alan Young,
was very old.
Is the voice of Scrooge McDuck for 16 films, TV shows, and video games, including DuckTales.
Woo!
Scrooge.
Oh my god!
Fucking love DuckTales.
Uncle Scrooge, yeah.
Who's Scottish for some reason.
do we want to move on to the budget?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Wikipedia says the budget was 50 million, but apparently it's rumored that it was near 70 million to make this film.
What?
That was not fucking worth it, man.
But bear in mind, Eddie Murphy got a lot of the money.
I
from that.
saw 50 million, which is what you said. But like, why? Where's the 70? Where's that extra 20?
Well, it was rumored that because production took so long to get going, that the money just went up and up, and they had to presumably give Eddie Murphy's production company extra money to get him involved.
Well,
as a sweetener. So I think the budget spiraled because of that.
Right, but it did gross apparently in total 119.2 million, which is pretty good, I would say.
So yeah, not a flop.
No.
But I'm sure it didn't make any money whatsoever with Hollywood accounting. Yeah. Would you think this would make a good video game?
Well, it
Late?
did. It fucking didn't. Let me tell you.
Oh, she
The
knows.
Beverly Hills Cop games for Amiga. Abysmal.
Oh my god!
I mean,
for
they're
Amiga.
funny, but they're just impossible to play. They're very funny though. Like it's just.
Wait,
It's
what?
just,
Why
like,
are they impossible to play? Just janky?
they're so hard. Like you walk through places shooting, then you've got driving segments, and you've got various fucking things to do, and it's all bollocks. It's all the same
Sounds
shit.
cool. Sounds really fucking cool.
We'll play it then. I don't know.
I did see on YouTube that there was someone that did a playthrough of Beverly Hills Cop for the PS2, and
Oh my
their
God.
video.
Oh,
This
I did
is
see
Critical
that.
Nobody
Yeah, I did see that.
on YouTube. It's called The Worst Garbage I've Ever Played. So probably not good.
It's not
Guessing.
good.
And I trust Cricketable No Boogie.
Yep.
Yeah. Great YouTuber, unless they're problematic, and then I hate them. So who knows? Who fucking knows? So our next episode will be our first Christmas special. The idea is that we're going to do 4 of these. We each selected 2 films to be added to 2 different lists. We have a nice list of good Christmas movies, and we have a naughty list of bad Christmas movies. Now, I picked Scrooged, the Bill Murray film, and Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. Those were my picks. So they both went on the nice list because I figure they're both good films. G picked Jingle All the Way. I put that on the nice list because it's a good film with Arnie. Classic. And she also picked The Polar Express, which I put on the naughty list because the CG has not aged well. It's terrifying. Sophie has picked Santa with Muscles, starring Hulk Hogan. That's on the naughty list. And Feeders 2 Sleigh Bells. That's also on the naughty list.
Both
2
of them are on the naughty list.
bad films. Now, this meant that there were 3 slots free on each list, and we did 2 polls on our Patreon, patreon.com/yompcast, to get people to vote for it. You didn't have to actually be a patron of us. You could have just been anybody. And if you missed this on social media, that's your own fault for not following us or being on our Discords.
But Patreon does have nice stuff on it. You know, we put pictures
Sure.
of cats, and Simon puts his extensive notes, and I put my scrawlings
Yep.
on there very sporadically.
And we have some winners. On the nice list, we have The Muppet Christmas Carol, Gremlins, and Home Alone. And
Smashing.
on our naughty list, we have the Star Wars Holiday Special, Santa Claus versus the Devil, which is a 1950s movie, which got an insane amount of votes, and I have no idea why it
I
did
don't
so
think people
well.
know what it is. I think that's
They
why.
just think it sounded cool.
They think it sounded cool. It does. It's not.
It's not.
And also, in third place, Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, with Aubrey Plaza as the voice of Grumpy Cat?
Oh, God.
Question mark? So those are our selection of films, and it's time for us to do a roll and see what the hell we're going to get. So we'll do 2 rolls, as we normally do. 1 to see what number on each list it'll be, I'm terrified. Hopefully we're going to get a special guest on this next episode as well.
I'd love that.
So,
That is the plan.
Stay tuned for that.
That is the plan.
That's the plan. We got
It's
a lot of
Santa.
plans. Oh my god, I love him!
Santa.
Okay, right. So a D6 to see what number on naughty and nice lists. It's 4, which means it's either going to be Muppet Christmas Carol or the Star Wars Holiday Special. Holy fucking shit, I'm terrified. Okay, I'm going to roll another D6. If it is an odd number, that's the nice list. If it's an even number, we're watching the Star Wars fucking Holiday Special. Oh my god.
It's the Muppets.
We're gonna be watching Muppet. Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
my
Thank
fucking
God.
God.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
The relief.
Thank God.
Save us,
Thank
Kermit.
God.
Save us.
Didn't I do it for you, Kirby?
Thank you. Thank you, Kermit.
So, stay tuned for our discussion of the Muppet Christmas Carol. Thank God. Thank God. But that's now been removed from the list.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That's gone. So,
We're getting closer and closer to that Star Wars special.
strike through. There we go. Gone. Okay, time to sign off. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Christmas is coming.
And so am I.
So am I. Hey! Ho ho ho!
Ho!
You're a ho ho ho!
Bye.
Bye!
Hello. If you enjoy listening to podcasts, then maybe you consider supporting monetarily by joining up on our Patreon on patreon.com/yompcast, and you get our notes, you get polls, you get a bonus episodes sometimes, and you also get this glorious shout out at the end from our Giga Yompers. You can even just follow us on Patreon now. You don't even have to pay money, and that means that you can participate in polls and stuff and comments and public posts. So thank you so much to our... Oh my god, I'm not doing very good at this. It'll be fine, Thank you so much to our Giga Yompers, the Big Tier, Native Blood, Lawrence, Sleepy Deej, Scott, I'm a Robot, Look, and Enki. Thank you so much, you guys. Looking forward to next week's podcast. I will see you then. Bye.